Books and coffee, that's all I need. Lost in a world of fantasy. Oh, indeed, from sci-fi thrillers to romance tales and horror stories that make me
Hey, Hope, how are
Hi,
you?
Laura. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And for anyone watching, Hope is an amazing human, first of all, and she also is a personal trainer. How would you describe your job?
I think I would maybe go more down the online coach route these days.
Yeah.
But it all falls under that umbrella, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. And not like some people that
yes.
had interactions with, shall we say.
I'd like to think I take a different approach, right?
A different approach, but also you're very skilled and knowledgeable in the background as well. It's not just about the movement and it's about the actual what that's doing in your body and things like that, which is something that I 100% appreciate. So tell us about what you do and what makes your services beneficial for mental health.
So I would say I am now a body neutral health and fitness coach. So that means that I'm not working with people who are striving for only aesthetic goals. So my services are beneficial to mental health because how I work with people, mental health comes first for me. So there's very little point, I feel, striving for a physical or aesthetic goal if your mental health is going to suffer. If you are training 4 to 5 times a week, finding that really hard, looking in the mirror and equating that to your training and it having a detrimental effect on you, then we need to change things up. This isn't something that's going to be long term. So of course, not everybody is affected by an aesthetic goal, but I know more people have been than that haven't been, I guess, if that's the right way to put it. We know, the research has shown us, we know a lot of people do suffer mentally and physically from this approach. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
And I have in the past been a customer and will be again.
Yeah. Very excited to work with you again. Yeah. The physical health part will be important. We need a working leg.
Oh yeah, definitely. Although it's getting there. So, how did you find your way to body neutral coaching?
I was really passionate about offering this service pretty much as soon as I qualified. I struggled with my own body image, my relationship with exercise and food for a really long time. I joined a gym. I started pole dancing. I started lifting weights and started realizing I need energy in order to do that. I can't starve myself if I want to get better at these things. And also came to realize, like, why are there not many coaches, PTs talking about this? Why are we only talking about abs and massive bums? I also read Just Eat It by Laura Thomas, which I think that was one of the first kind of like anti-diet books that I read, and that was really revolutionary. So I think like discovering the anti-diet community, becoming very angry has all led me to this position. And now I'm in a more kind of neutral position where I can help people rather than just be angry about it. That's how I got here.
Tell us about how working with you looks.
So I have a very individual approach. Everybody is wildly different, and that's really important. I think anybody can give you a calorie deficit and 4 workouts to do each week. But for me, I want people to come away from working with me with a change in mindset or behavior change that is going to stick. So how are you viewing exercise? Is it something that's punishing? can we change that? Can we actually flip it to something that is actually going to care for your body? And is it something that you're then going to engage in long term because of that switch, because of that flip? So I would write programs for people that are, every program is different because we are all so different. And we would have regular check-ins as well. So I speak to all my clients at least twice a week, normally via message check-in forms. But if you need further support, if we need like an actual conversation, then there's unlimited conversations that we can be having. Because again, just like how exercise is different, how you need to be coached is going to be different as well. Some people don't need a lot of touch points. They just need that twice message a week. Other people need a bit more. I also love a journal. So I will throw a journal or a writing task your way, because if you want to change your relationship with exercise, you need to be curious about what it is now. Like, how is it affecting you now, should I say? And you need to get curious about that and think about it, write some things down, get all those thoughts out so that you can change the relationship going forward and you can be in a good space and it be something that is positively impacting you and your mental health and your physical health.
Getting outside of the head.
Yeah.
To go in again.
Which is really hard. Like I said, like anybody can go, here's calorie deficit, go away and do it. But I don't think a lot of people are setting you up to win long term.
No. It's always a short-term goal with things like that, with the expectation of a long-term goal. You know, you have that expectation, or this is going to be how I change, how I do things differently, but it doesn't go beyond that. In my experience as a customer in this situation, it didn't. Previously, it didn't go beyond that. Oh, it's just going to change. That's it. It's new me now. There's no thought behind it. There's no process in
those short-term tasks, goals are very rarely sustainable long term. And I think that's where people get tripped up on it, is that like you get that after picture, right? But then that after picture doesn't stay that way. And then you're forever looking at that picture thinking, well, what am I doing wrong now? Well, I can't be eating just 1,000 calories a day. That's silly.
I don't. You need the energy to still live your life.
100%.
And also do all of these things that you want to do.
Yeah, definitely.
What are some of the mental health wins you have witnessed?
I think like the main one is seeing people's confidence grow, and that comes with lots of little things that I guess like happen in their life that they maybe don't really recognize. But I ask them every week, like, have you experienced any wins, or what are you most proud of? Or I've worded it in like 3 different ways. So it gives like lots of opportunities to actually reflect on the week and go, oh my God, do you know what? I actually did this. So I've had one woman, she went and did a backflip into the pool, which she used to be able to do when she was younger, but she was like, I had no idea whether I could do that or not. And she was like, I just felt like I have the confidence in my body now to know what it can and can't do. And she was like, I just flipped into the pool. I was like, that's amazing. I work with a lot of mums now, and a lot of their wins are around what they've been able to do with their kids. And like, if there's any motivation, I feel like there's is that like looking back on being able to create memories with confidence and going, we went for a walk, something went wrong, but it's fine because I was able to carry them for the final 10 minutes of that walk, or I was able to pick them up and dance with them. I had she ended up picking up her son and then her niece and her nephew and was dancing on the dance floor. But I think like these feel physical, but the mental health side of it is their confidence and their confidence in their ability, which is amazing to witness. Like you just can't beat it at all. How the fitness industry sets us up creating this mindset is that our bodies should be shameful, or there's something to feel guilty about always. Like no matter what size or shape we are, everybody's always got something that they're made to feel guilty about because of the industry and the society that we're in. And that has that knock-on effect of, well, I can't do that.
Yeah.
We don't realize the impact it has sometimes.
No, because we're so used to thinking like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel odd anymore. And I think that's where the anger comes in, when you start breaking away from that and you start realizing, oh my goodness, I've literally been holding myself back.
Yeah.
Wasting my energy on things that don't help anything, myself or the world around me.
Yeah.
We're always told that regular exercise is a good way to help our mental health. What does that actually mean? And is it the same for everyone?
So definitely not. Consistency is different for everybody. And again, I think that's something else that is a barrier in itself, because we probably view people that exercise, they exercise 4 to 5 times a week for an hour long. And that's not true. Like, we maybe watch athletes or very experienced exercisers that come from that privileged position of being able to do that. Like, they don't have any physical or mental health issues. They maybe don't have any dependents. They maybe have the income that they can afford to get out of the house and go to a gym in the first place. And these barriers aren't really discussed in the mainstream, really. It's all just, well, you just don't want it enough. Get up and go. We've all got the same 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, exactly. Whereas actually consistency can be 10 minutes twice a week. And there's some fantastic research that's now emerging to show us that shorter is still incredibly beneficial. So I have clients that will do 10 minutes twice a week, to clients that are training 3 times a week for an hour. But the benefits are still the same across the board. 10 minutes doesn't make it any less worthy just because it's 10 minutes long. And that's actually something I'm doing now. Like, I'm only doing 20 minutes max workouts, because like, part of me is I don't want to. And the other part of me is I know that this is still beneficial for my health. Like, I'm still going to progress. I'm still going to improve my own health or maintain my own health by doing this. I want to spend my time doing other things. Like, life is for living.
Yeah.
Like, why am I wasting my time traveling to and from the gym an hour each way? Like, no, I don't want to do that. I feel like once you know that consistency can be once or twice a week, and it can be quite short, again, that can be so freeing, just like the anti-diet side of things is. You then have this scope of like, oh, I've worked out today, and yes, 10 minutes is a workout. Thank you. So I'm always going to be in the mindset of that something is better than nothing, and help others recognize that too, really.
Yeah. Like for me at the moment, my workouts are my physio.
Yeah, perfect.
Like, in my mind, every time I do my physio, because I want to do it for a start, because I know it's going to help me heal. It's going to help me strengthen my ankles, and it's going to get me where I want to be at some point. Yeah, like, I think, but I wouldn't have done that previous to working with you. I don't think I would have looked at it as a chore, rather than, like, I would know, yes, it's going to do me good, but it's going to hurt in the process. And I focus on that. I would have focused on that pain and that.
So that's it. If you're viewing all movement as good and beneficial, then it's going to have such a more positive impact on you. Because I agree, like, I think a lot of people would, even though this is absolutely not true, a lot of people would view physio as a chore. Oh, it's boring. Oh, I have to go do this again. But like you said, viewing it as a way for caring for yourself, and also a way to reach your goal in the future, it just becomes so much more positive.
Yeah.
And we don't have to hate it all the time.
It reinforces like what my body is capable of.
Yeah.
I've always thought, oh no, I can't do that because I'm fat, I'm unhealthy, I'm whatever, lazy, is another one that I used to think a lot and still catch myself quite a few times actually, but I do hear it now when I say to myself, which I wouldn't have before. So it's all these little things. It's like you say, it's like building blocks, isn't it? But over time they just
they do. That's something I really remembered of you actually when we were working together, was how often you would catch yourself if you'd said something and gone, no, actually, that was not right of me to say that. This is what I mean instead. That really like stuck out for me. That is so impactful. Reframing those, because they will still come up, but the more often you go, no, I'm not going to say that about myself, or that's not actually true. I'm not lazy. I was just tired that day. I needed the rest that day, etc., etc., etc. It again puts you in a positive spot.
Yeah, thank you for working with me on that.
No, my pleasure.
Okay, what are the 3 tips for becoming more body neutral that you would give?
So I think like we've touched on all 3, which is quite a nice way to wrap up, isn't it? Learning about fat phobia and weight stigma, like first and foremost, listening to others' experiences and acknowledging that health looks different on everybody. And like we said, like you're going to get a bit angry about it, but that's okay. Because with time, like most of us that are in this kind of anti-diet / body neutral community, that anger's happened, but we've now swung to a position where it's like, okay, this is very anger inducing, but we're doing something positive to change that message, you know. Consistent movement, and all movement counts. So like we just said, because research shows that it has a positive impact on your mental health and our body image. So whatever that movement looks like is amazing, is perfect. Thinking about it as caring for your body as opposed to punishing it is really, really powerful. And then my 3rd tip would be to catch and reframe any negative thoughts or things that you are saying about yourself or other people, like being really mindful of your language, which can kind of go as far as being like, oh, I can't have that bit of cake because I'm being good today. It's just cake. Like, you're not the second coming if you don't eat a piece of cake. Like, it's absolutely fine. Little like tidbits of language like that does build a bigger picture of guilt and shame and negativity.
And that I feel like that's something that I've taken into the rest of my life as well. So it's obviously going to help with your movement and your relationship with exercise, but it's also something that's going to help with your mental health in general. If my mental health isn't doing okay, I'm physically not doing okay. So I like focusing on that first gives me that basis to be able to do other stuff. So an example of that is, at the moment, obviously since my accident, I've had to learn to walk again effectively. Doing like stairs and stuff. Like I can do stairs now, but I also have to balance my anxiety because my accident happened around the stairs. So then it's triggered my PTSD. So then it's like this cycle. It's not that you can control these things. It's what you do with them that's different. That tip for me is like probably that moment that like the fireworks went off for me. So I was just like, oh my God, yeah, this is like the start point for me.
That's amazing.
I think anyone with mental illness or mental health challenges of any description, I feel like is going to really connect with that one.
I think it's that that no excuses mindset is really detrimental to anybody that does suffer with any mental health problems, right? Because you're telling yourself like, this is an excuse, why can't I do this? And there's not, of course there are excuses, of course there are reasons why you have to take a step back. Your mental health has to come first before you're able to put any more energy into exercising consistently, cooking dinner, you know, like there's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And you need to make sure you can meet these bottom needs before we can start adding in other health behaviors that are going to impact you positively, but you need to have the energy and the capabilities to do it. Saying no excuses just creates further guilt and shame over how we're feeling about ourselves. And that's not going to help anybody at all.
No. And finally, how do we find you if we want to check out your services, maybe sign up?
I'm everywhere. No, I'm mainly on Instagram and TikTok, which is hopehudson.pt on both of those. So yeah.
Hope will be linked in the description box below as well.
I'm a book hermit, part of the booktube crew, sharing my thoughts, connecting me and you. With every page a new adventure awaits, a community bound by the love we create.